Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. In the last class we studied about different factors affecting human growth and development. And now we will study about the scope of human development, the scope to study the human development. The scope of human growth and development is vast. Human development refers to the physical, cognitive and psychosocial development of humans throughout the lifespan. And we have studied about this in our previous lectures. Physical development involves growth and changes in the body and brain, the senses, motor skills, and health of a person. Cognitive development involves learning, attention, memory, language, thinking, creativity, and reasoning. Psychosocial development involves emotions, personality, and social relationships. We may also be aware of changes in children's fine and gross motor skills as well as their increasing coordinations, particularly in terms of playing sports. But we may not realize that physical development also involves the brain development of a person, which not only enables childhood motor coordination but also greater coordination between emotions and planning in adulthood. As our brains are not done developing in infancy or childhood, they are continuously developing. Physical development also includes the changes in our senses and primary versus secondary aging, and healthy habits with nutrition and exercise are also important at every age and stage across the lifespan. So you can see that the scope of human growth and development is very vast. It includes so many studies, it includes so many areas, it includes so many topics. So many things we study under the umbrella of human development. We study so many topics, we study so many areas. If we watch and listen to infants and toddlers, we will be surprised to see that they learn so much so fast, particularly when it comes to the language development. Then, as we compare young children to those in the middle childhood, there appear to be a huge difference in their ability to think logically about the concrete world and many other aspects around them. Cognitive development includes mental processes, thinking, learning, and understanding, and it does not stop in childhood. Young people develop the ability to think logically about the abstract world and may like to debate matters with their adults as they exercise their new cognitive skills, and moral reasoning develops further, as does practical intelligence. Wisdom may develop with experience over time. Memory abilities and different forms of intelligence tend to change with age. Brain development and the brain's ability to change, particularly in different situations. This is also including in the cognitive functions. And this is a whole life process. Now you can realize that how big the field is. The field of human development is very vast. It includes so many things to study. Psychosocial development involves, I told you earlier, it involves emotions, personality, self-esteem, and relationships. Peers become more important for young people who are exploring new roles and forming their own identities. As you may have already noticed that physical, cognitive, and psychosocial development are often interrelated. They are interrelated with each other, as with the example of brain development. So we have talked about it, that all the domains are interrelated with each other, they are linked with each other. For example, if one child has good cognitive development, better in cognitive development, so we expect that he will be good in other cognitive domains as well, other psychosocial domains as well, and physical domains as well. So all the domains are interrelated with each other. We have studied about the principles and characteristics of growth and development. So if you are good in one dimension, in one domain, so it is very likely that you will be good in other domains as well. You will be surprised to know that many academic disciplines contributed to the study of development, and this type of course is offered in some schools as psychology and particularly as developmental psychology. In other schools, it is taught under sociology or human development or family studies. This multidisciplinary course is made up of contributions from researchers in the areas of healthcare, anthropology, nutrition, child development, biology, psychology, sociology, and many others. So, there is a big contribution of researchers from different fields. Consequently, the stories provided are rich and well-rounded, and the theories and findings can be a part of a collaborative effort to understand human lives. So, what is the goal to study all this? To understand human lives, and that is a collaborative effort of researchers from every field of life. The main goal of those involved in studying human development are to describe and explain changes. So what they are doing, they are explaining changes, they are describing changes with time. As child develops, he has changes. So they are explaining those changes. In the study of human growth and development, researchers describe observations during development, then examine how theories provide explanations for why these changes occur. For example, you may observe a 2-year-old child to be particularly temperamental, and researchers offer theories to explain why that is. So this is something that this field is not a contribution of one type of researchers or one field. This field, the human development, the area of human development, has lots of contributions of researchers from various fields. So that's why the findings are interesting, the theories are interesting because that is not the outcome of one field. In education, the scope to study the human growth and development is even more important. We have talked about this in our previous lectures that why it is important to study human development, and because teachers are responsible for a new wave of students in their classrooms every year. The more a teacher learns about child human development or child development, the more he or she can understand at what level it is appropriate to teach them. So this is very important for a teacher, to know the developmental level of a child, the developmental milestones of a child. So what he can do then? He can design instruction accordingly. He can design assessment accordingly. He can design learning experiences accordingly. He can design classroom activities accordingly. And he can behave in particular way with the particular group of students. If he is knowing all the developmental qualities and characteristics of that particular age, so what will happen? It will be good for him. Especially you are here to become teachers, you are prospective teachers, you are in a teacher training program. So this is important for you to know about this. So you can deal with your students more effectively in the future. A teacher needs to manage and educate all types of students. Education should be developmentally appropriate, and this is very important point, and you need to learn this, you need to remember this. That is, teaching should take place at a level that is neither too difficult and stressful nor too easy and boring for the age of the child. So this is important to consider when you are teaching to your class. Up till now, we studied about human development in terms of educational psychology or developmental studies. Other than psychological perspectives, the human development approach puts the improvement of individual's life as the central objective of the development. So, generally, what is the objective of human development? The objective is, the focus is to bring improvement in person's life. The term human development may be also defined as an expansion of human capabilities, a widening of choices, an enhancement of freedom, and a fulfillment of human rights. So when we are talking about human development, we are actually focusing on expansion of human capabilities. So we need to expand the human capabilities. We need to provide opportunities. We need to provide experiences. We need to provide chances to individuals to develop their capabilities, to polish their capabilities, to increase their capabilities. A widening of choices. So this is the right of every person to have choices. So this is responsibility of the education system to develop individuals and provide them different choices, widening their choices. And enhancement of freedom. So this is important that you are enhancing the freedom of a person and a fulfillment of human rights. So this is very important that you are focusing on the fulfillment of human rights. And what are the human rights? What are the basic human rights? For example, security of a person, equal protection of the law, rights to take part in government, adequate standards of living, protecting against unemployment, reasonable limitations of working hours, and free elementary education, and social security. These are some of the examples of human rights. And think about the current situation, think about the circumstances, and think about the possibilities. How can you achieve these goals? How can you achieve these milestones? How can you work on human rights, fulfillment of human rights? So this is important that you are getting knowledge of human development in all aspects of human development, and you studied the human development in terms of educational psychology. We are talking about human development in general. So this is important for you as a teacher, as a training teacher, as a future teacher, that you should have the knowledge of all these developmental sides of a person, so you can design your instruction accordingly. So if we are talking about human development in general, so we are talking about an expansion of human capabilities. So how can we develop these capabilities? So as a teacher, you need to think about it. You need to design activities, you need to design instruction in a way that can develop their capabilities, and that can develop the problem solving skills in the students, the other innovative skills in the students. So I hope you understand about the scope of human development, and the scope of human development is very wide, and it includes so many areas, it includes so many topics, it includes so many debates. One aspect is, according to it comes under educational psychology, developmental studies, and one aspect is the general one, which talks about the human development, the overall human development.